And we are live. Sorry if I just scared the piss out of you. Yeah, there we go. Made a few changes. Nice. Yeah, I know. I know. All right. As soon as I start. Got Professor Ari up in his A. Alright, let me do my boring shit first. This is your first time here. Welcome. This is the LootCave. And give me a second. I'll kind of give the lowdown on what we're here for. Yeah. Hopefully it'll start popping up here. First off, though, we did do the whole got some of the boys to play with me the past couple nights, you know, for the Operation Save New Lights. That was actually really fun. And I think I actually had the pleasure to meet a few new people. So that was pretty good. If this will ever pop up. For those of you who don't know, I'm still new at this whole streaming thing, so I'm trying to get the hang of it here. But and this YouTube app wants to be a little prick. Alright. Well, I guess while we're waiting on this to start showing up, did it just? Yeah, it did. There we go. Be a lot easier once I can get this all figured out here. Get my beautiful thumbnail all set up, shall we? Hey, what's up? Cyrus? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name. Welcome, welcome. Just give me just a second. Like I said, I'm new here. Okay. All right. And tonight we're going to be talking. The starting topic will be about vault space. Let's see. Add it to the playlist. And save it. I'll just go ahead and save it. Yeah. Oh. What's up, Fluffy? That's awesome. It's about time you got your butt up in here. You probably been watching my funky ass the past couple nights anyways, as far as I know. Okay. Cool. Alright, since I got... Before I start bringing in anybody, alright. This is the LootCave. This is a podcast where we talk all about Destiny. And, hi, Fluffy. And, basically, whatever the title is, it's really just, you know, the starting topic. We could actually just, you know, talk anything and everything about Destiny. I am not a, you know, one of these big streamers, obviously. And, I made this podcast in order to make it where you can have yourself a voice. So where the other podcasts don't have that's where I have. So that's the reason why I built it, so that it could have call-ins. So you can actually call in and we could talk whatever the big topic is. And as of starting tonight, it's about vault space. If anybody thinks that we need to expand the vault space where we have more, I should really be asleep. Is 3. Well, at least you're here. Happy to have you here. All right. That's kind of the quick rundown about it all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my boy up in here. And so this is how it works. Kind of see how it works in my Discord. Discord link is in the description. And all you gotta do is hop in and we can actually start having conversations. All right. Let's get him up in here. Hello? Hey, Professor. Don't make a liar out of me now. He probably stepped away. Probably didn't even realize it. I'm dying internally. Don't do that. Shit. You're a guardian. You can't die. All you do is respawn. Alright. I guess since we got 3 of y'all watching currently, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and oh, you gonna leave now? Okay. All right, so this is kind of my 1v1 section where, like, if I feel like I want to have a one-on-one with you guys, this is the section I would do it in. And then this is where all the magic happens. So, all right, let's try this again. That should have worked this time.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Alright. I'm here now. Glad it's working.
Well, there you go. Aw, Fluffy, you can't quit on us. Come on now. All right, one of these days we'll do a fundraiser for you. Excuse me. Okay. Just so that we can go ahead and get started. Professor, how are you? How are you tonight? Are you still there? I think somebody unplugged him. I can't afford it. Well, you can. We'll work something. I'm sure you can work something out. Yeah, but it's like once a year though. It being $6 per seat DLC. All right.
All right, let's see if all wants to work this time.
All right.
It keeps wigging out every time I try to like tab out and go look at the live chat on my phone.
Oh, okay. Like in the Discord or like on YouTube as well?
No, like just my mic cuts out. Like it won't my mic audio doesn't work after I tab over to YouTube to look at the live chat. So I don't know. Stay in here and see if it wants to keep working.
Yeah. All my money goes to my mom and pay rent and food and all that shiz. Yeah, I feel that.
I feel that, man.
Yeah. all the money wrapped up into something else.
Pretty much.
Well, it's all right. Maybe something will happen where you can actually continue to play. So
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe for you, my guy.
Yeah, girl.
Or who? Yeah, whichever.
Whichever. Sure, it's 2022, right?
Yeah, whatever you identify as.
All right.
My fellow toaster oven.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll stop joking about it.
Alright.
Damn it. Alright, I'll turn that back a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Alright, bro. So here we go with the topic that I know we were talking about it last time, right? And yeah. This is I've been seeing a lot of where like a lot of the bigger name streamers are putting out videos of like cleaning out their vaults, how to manage it and everything, which is awesome. But at the same time, you got some individuals who will be out there and like they're wanting to beg Bungie to actually expand the vault space so you can have more slots. And I guess you could I'll let you do a quick recap on what we were talking about the last time. And
quick recap of what we were talking about last time.
And Fluffy says, yes, I am a toaster oven. So
all right.
So
nail on the head with that one. Glad. The last time, quick recap. Here's the Cliff Notes version of it. I personally don't think 500 slots is a lot of slots, and if you have those slots filled up, you probably have a lot of junk and just BS in your vault that you don't need in there. You and I were kind of... Yes, I'll go get your ice cream. I love you too. And you and I, Arma, were talking a little bit about how you have a lot of weapons in your vault that don't necessarily need to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, we touched on that a time or two.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Talked about it a good little bit, but I still stand by what I was saying. I think that there is still a lot of people out there that just have a lot of BS in their vault that they don't need, and it comes down to sort of the same issue you have, just a collector's issue. You have a lot of cool weapons and you don't want to get rid of them.
That's true. But at the same time, I think there's a separation issue with when it comes to who really wants more vault space. I mean, who's really calling for that? Is it really the streamers who are sitting here day in, day out, playing for, 15, 20 plus hours every day, and, having to make up a bunch of loadouts so that they can make their YouTube videos, or they could show them off on stream, especially when it comes to like PvP content? Or is it people like me, just, hey, I might want to hold on to this because it might actually get pretty good. Bungie might switch something up overnight, and you never know.
I think there's a third option, and I think that's really where the people that are complaining about wanting more vault space sit. and that is the people that don't. It's a separation issue with the gear that they've grinded a lot of time to get. You know, if you put 40 hours into, you know, get 7 or 8 Reese Walkers, like that's 40 hours you put in. You don't want to get rid of those because you spent so much time trying to get them in the first place. And I think that's where a lot of people sit, is they just spend. Yeah, it's people that don't have a lot of time to play the game anyways, and then they spend so much time trying to get these weapons and stuff that they don't want to get rid of them because they did spend that time.
Right, yeah.
Which,
well,
to an extent, is understandable. I get that to an extent. Because even when I was playing a ton of Destiny all the time, it really wasn't that much Destiny. I really didn't have, you know, that much time to play and grind Destiny.
Right.
Especially, you know, considering I'm not one of those big name streamers. You know, I'm not making money off of playing Destiny. And I've spent money on plenty of other games that I would also want to play.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think it's, I don't know. I think another portion a lot of people are, you know, forgetting about is when it comes to the whole weapon crafting that's coming. How is that going to affect how we hoard our god rolls and stuff like that? And then secondly, there's this idea that I've been seeing floating around is, what if you get a certain roll that you want, that you got that god roll, and then there was a way that you could, you know, lock it in, and if you delete it, you could literally pull that exact roll back out of your collections.
I think Bungie's gonna do something like that. For a multitude of reasons, I don't think they'd do something like that. For one, they've never done it in the past. The only weapons you've been able to pull out of collections with specific rolls are weapons that used to have static rolls. You know, blues, grays, and greens, obviously, and pinnacle weapons, which don't really exist in the same terms that they used to. You know, ritual weapons are sort of the same concept, you know, just less powerful, basically.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them putting some sort of way to pull a weapon out of collections that you have or that you've gotten, or, you know, weapon crafted with a specific role, because then that requires some sort of way for every player to lock in what their desired role is so that they can pull it out of collections, you know?
Right.
So it's a lot of client side coding that would go into such a concept.
Well,
and I don't see a way for that to be time efficient, beneficial, or profitable for them. Does that make sense? You know, just the amount of time and coding that they would put into something like that, I don't see, without heavily monetizing a system like that, you know, making it where you can only do it if you pay a subscription or pay some sort of microtransaction or something. I don't see that benefiting them in any way.
Right. Well, I think another thing that a lot of people need to keep in mind is, you know, when it comes to a lot of changes, you know, here on out, and, you know, even coming up to Witch Queen, when we see changes coming through the TWABs, and everybody focuses on the here and now. They can't think why, like in the future, why is Bungie making this change now to better the system later? For what are they going to put into the game that we need to have this change now so they can make sure that it works properly? But people don't want to think that way. They just want to, take off with, like, they just make a mountain out of an anthill.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of people end up forgetting that, or they don't even think about that, what the changes are coming about now to help us later or benefit us later. So if we don't give Vault Space expansion, it's probably because we're getting weapon crafting and there will be no point.
We'll see. All right, so here's my thing on it. Here's an idea that just hit my head.
Okay.
Bungie changes things when they see an issue in the game. Whether that's a popular decision or not, cough cough, weapon sunsetting. Weapon sunsetting, it wasn't a big... there was not a lot of people that were happy about that. A lot of the big streamers weren't happy about that. But then when it came around and happened, everybody kind of realized, wow, it's really not that bad. So if Bungie doesn't plan to make any changes to the vault space, it's because they don't see an issue with the amount of vault space we currently have.
Right.
If you've got 500 slots in your vault and 450 of those are taken up by weapons, for one, you're not using 450 different weapons on a regular basis, and I guarantee you they're not all different weapons. I don't even know that there's that many legendary weapons in the game.
Well, I don't think anybody's arguing that. It's more of, they want to either hoard it because they have a hoarding issue, or they're holding on to certain weapons with certain perks because it could be meta in this next 6 months, and you could literally be walking around meta king for a season because you actually kept that role. So a lot of the times that's what I see a lot of the arguments for, to get it to expand.
As we've seen here recently with Destiny, the True Prophecy hand cannon is a great example, right? The True Prophecy hand cannon used to not be that great because 110s were trash.
Right.
They bumped them up to 120s, and True Prophecy was top of the fucking meta. Like, it was pinnacle of hand cannons at the time if you still had a rangefinder explosive payload True Prophecy. That was just like that was the best like hand cannon you could run at the time, and then they nerfed it a little bit, brought the 120, the range of the 120s, in line a little bit so that it wasn't an outstanding gun. They're trying to keep a more balanced meta in PvP, and I think that's where a lot of the issues come with weapon balancing, is in PvP. We haven't had a ton of issues with PvE weapon balancing. You don't see hand cannons or SMGs or auto rifles or anything really just popping off in PvE. You don't see them making huge changes to those weapon archetypes in PvE because it's not a huge issue. And so, and like I was saying last time, the issue with holding on to a weapon because it might be the god tier weapon in an upcoming season typically, like, if they want to switch up the meta a little bit, if they want to switch up to a more like sidearm SMG based meta, they typically release, you know, a sidearm and an SMG that are gonna perform well in that meta. They don't switch up the meta and then just release shit tier weapons for that weapon archetype, you know?
Right, yeah.
So I don't, again, hoarding weapons because, you know, they might be god tier, you know, that's a lot of mights and maybes to just be filling up your vault with.
I mean, is there really like any, I can't think of anything, but is there really any weapons that are not sunset, but at the same time they don't drop anymore? I don't think that's a thing.
Ooh,
Because if that was a thing, then yeah, I could see that. It's like, well, you could, well, okay, yeah,
well, so
that would be
the
like
things
seasonal
from-
weapons or like the weapons
No,
for like
not even. If you
well, like
think
the
of
horror
all-
story,
all
you
the
can't get that
seasons-
until the next time around. So
but the
you
horror
have to wait a
story
whole
isn't-
year.
But it's not even like the horror story's that good.
Not right now, but it could be.
And if it becomes a really good weapon, the horror story is just an auto rifle in an entire archetype of auto rifles.
But yeah, kinetic.
And yeah, the horror story. So if you look at horror story, is a remodeled version of the origin story, and when the horror story first dropped, it wasn't even that good, and it still hasn't been that good because the origin story is just as good. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
they've leaned back from releasing really overpowered weapons because that was the whole issue with that. That's why they sunset all of the old pinnacle weapons and stuff to begin with, is because whenever you release a really powerful weapon or a weapon with a really powerful set of perks, in order to one up that, you have to just release more powerful weapons or more powerful perks. And then, you know, if you continue on that path, like Bungie was doing, eventually, if they hadn't sunset those weapons and they would have stayed on that path, their game would have just, Destiny 2 would have come to a place where it was just unplayable. Because it would have been a Destiny 1 problem, like Yallarhorn was in D1, where if you don't have Yallarhorn, if you don't have the best weapon in the game, then nobody's gonna want to run with you in anything. You know, like, if you think about it, if Mountaintop and Recluse were still in the game, they hadn't been sunset, they were still at the current place, the current place they were when they were released, and you could run those in trials. If you were trying to LFG for a trials match, I guarantee you 90% of the teams that you would run into wouldn't want to run with you if you didn't have Mountaintop and Recluse.
Okay. Well, let's hear from one of these Twitter tweets. Says in a looter game with a ridiculous amount of weapons and armor with tons of different roles, where's the point is to collect the best you can get. Just delete stuff is absolutely not a solution. In fact, it's antithetical to the spirit of the game.
Do you agree with that whole statement? Do you agree that Destiny is about? Do you believe that Destiny
this is not about me, my man. I want to hear your opinion.
Is Destiny really a game where the point of the game is to collect the most powerful weapons there are? My opinion, no, that's not the point of
I
Destiny.
think I find Destiny to be like an experience. Is like, because it, like, I love how Bungie has developed the game in a certain sort of way that has drawn me from only playing with bows and hand cannons. Forsaken, that's all I use, unless if I went into the raid, I wasn't allowed to. But now I'm playing with many different type of weapons, and I love that. I love that. And so it gives me a different experience, and it forces me to play with other things, but it's still in a way that, like, I can find the way I like to play. You know, it's not like, oh, I hate having to use this weapon. Well, I find my weapons that I like, and then, you know, and then try to build around that. And it's still my playstyle.
In my opinion, Destiny is much more of a social game. And I think that's how a lot more people should look at it. Because I can hop on Destiny and hop into some Strikes or some Crucible or some Gambit, and if I'm playing with the right kind of people, like, I don't even really go super sweat, you know, and like really customize my weapons and even the mods on my armor and stuff. I don't really mess around with any of that unless I'm running, you know, a Nightfall, or I want to like show off a super broken build to my buddies and some Strikes, or we're running like a raid, like Trials, Nightfalls, fucking around with friends and raids. Like that's the only time I really mess with customizing everything. Everything else has just really been a social experience of meeting cool people. I met you through Destiny. There's Zach, there's Soda, there's Mets. You know, I've met a ton of cool people just through playing Destiny. And I know that not everybody out there is like that, and I think that Destiny is really an experience because there aren't the people that play Destiny and only play Destiny are the kind of people that are making money off of playing Destiny. And so if you're a regular gamer and you have other games on your hard drive or on disk or whatever that you want to play, like, Destiny is you can run into some people that you really get along with and you have similar interests with and you love to play with, and that can expand into other games.
Right.
You know, I cannot ever, in my point of playing Destiny 2, say that Destiny was about collecting the most powerful weapons. Cool, yeah, it's cool, it's fun to have powerful shit and run around with those super busted weapons. But Bungie has really toned back how many super powerful weapons they're releasing. I haven't seen any gameplay or experimentation with Yellowhorn now that it's in Destiny 2. I'm sure they probably toned back the damage compared to what it was in D1 because they can't have a rocket launcher like that. Especially one that buffs the legendary rocket launchers of your allies running around in their game.
Right.
Because if they did release something that powerful, it would just throw the meta so out of whack for raids and stuff. You know, I believe in a way the perk, the addition to the perk where it buffs legendary rocket launchers around you, it gets the player base to veer away from that mindset that they had in D1 towards the weapon, where if you didn't have a Yellowhorn, you didn't get to go on raids. Because that's how a lot of the LFG player base is if you didn't have a Yellowhorn, you didn't get to raid with them. Yeah. Because it was the DPS king. So I think changing the perks up a little bit where it buffs the legendary rocket launchers, I think that was a step away so that, you know, I think Bungie's learning. And even if it is a really good, really powerful exotic rocket launcher, you know, I think that that was a step in the right direction. But it veers the player base away from that mindset where everybody has to have the most powerful weapon. Because eventually it's going to get to a point they're going to release a rocket launcher or a couple of rocket launchers and give them some really cool perks that synergize really well with having wolf pack rounds. And then Yellowhorn is going to fall into the same place that Divinity was in, where whenever you're at a DPS check in a raid, instead of having a div bitch, you have a Yellowhorn bitch. And that's what it's going to be. You're going to have one person that has to run Yellowhorn so that everybody else that has their really good rocket launchers can pump out that DPS.
Okay, let me ask you this. Since sunsetting has basically been reversed, right? And what's there to say? Like, we get new loot every season, you know, anytime we get like a new activity, there's always something to chase.
New activity,
But
new
at what
destination, new
point,
anything, yeah.
how far in do we go before vault space will be needed?
So I'm sure. So I think the best way for Destiny, for Bungie in general, to handle that issue with Destiny is at the very least every year. So Witch Queen's getting ready to drop new big content drop, right?
Right.
All the seasonal gear that you can still get, like right now, because I know all the current seasons this year, like, you can still go back and grind those weapons, you know, you can still go grind those activities, you can go do your battlegrounds, you know, you can go do that stuff and still get those weapons.
Right.
I think every major content drop, it would be a smart idea for them to just sunset all of last year's weapons. Minus maybe raid weapons. If they're not releasing a new raid with the new expansion, keep the most current raid, keep the weapons up to date. But all of the seasonal activities and everything, sunset them. I think that's the way it's going to have to be, and I think that's probably what they're going to do in the future, is sunsetting is going to be a more routine thing. Because eventually, yeah, it's gonna become an issue when, you know, they can't let their game get to the point where they have 50 activities in the game that each have 6 different weapons you can get from it. They're all like pretty solid weapons. Because then just the sheer number of weapons that exist in the game is going to be taking up space in people's vaults.
Well, I don't think that we're going to get basically that far where
No, and I think
like,
and I think that's
where we're going to have like I'm pretty sure, I got a feeling that one day, who knows, maybe not be this season, maybe not the next season, but maybe one day Bungie may implement sunsetting again in some sort of way. They might not do it the way that they did the last time, but they might actually try it again.
Honestly, what I think they might do is anytime they decide to remove, so with Witch Queen dropping, if they decide to remove Battlegrounds as a whole, remove the war table, you know, remove the servitor and the stuff that you could do for that, if they decide to just remove all of those as a whole, I'm sure that they'll just remove the weapons from the game at the same time. You know, whenever they put something into the DCV, Destiny Content Vault, I think that they're just gonna take the weapons with it. That's what they did with all of the location. I mean, that's more or less what they did with all the location weapons. You can still, they added the Ikilos weapons to different loot pools, you know, so that's not a good example, but the weapons that are tied to destinations and activities, I think whenever they remove a destination or an activity, they'll probably just remove those weapons from the game. So if they're taking up, if you have 40 weapons from an activity that are taking up space in your vault, when they remove that activity, I could see them just removing those weapons.
What, just completely remove them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
I don't see why not, because as they add more stuff into the game, that obviously takes up, that makes the file size larger. It takes up more space on people's consoles and their computers, and eventually file size does become an issue. And so I think eventually they're just gonna have to remove weapons from the game. And I think that that's probably the way they're gonna do it, is just straight up removing them from the game whenever they remove an activity. That's the way I would do it if I was Bungie. That seems like the best way to go.
Right. Well, kind of looking at a lot of these other posts, they kind of, basically repeat themselves, over and over again. I'm a collector, stuff like that. Really, which is kind of funny, because if you do the collections idea, that's not a bad idea though. Because you can literally lock that one roll. Maybe you can only lock so many rolls of that same weapon or something. Like maybe they give you like 3 slots that you can lock per weapon, and it would stay in your collections. And all you would have to do is, instead of carrying it all over the place with you, all you gotta do is you can delete it, and then you can just pull it out whenever you're ready. So let's say you get like this really cool fusion rifle that has a really good perk, then maybe you could turn around and just lock it and then go. I don't know. That's that and then that would suit those who were the collectors, because I think you can distinguish the two between someone who's a collector and then somebody who's just a hoarder and they just mismanage. They just don't know what they're doing. They just throwing all kinds of shit in there. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, well, is there a way? Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people that are collectors than not. Or should I say there's a lot more collectors than hoarders that are just mismanaged. It's really just maybe a few people that are like me.
Right.
Well, I mean, I would say I'm a collector as well. It's just, I see something that I think is a good roll that I will kind of reevaluate later, but I don't do it because I'm lazy, and then my vault space just fills up. Like today, I went ahead and went in there and I spent like good 30 minutes and I cleaned up like 100 slots. And it's like I got more weapons I have to go through. Trying to pick like I figure, okay, if I can at least pick a good PvE and a good PvP weapon, then I could keep at least 2 of that weapon, whatever it is. And then I try to also keep whatever. If I have machine guns, I try to keep each archetype and try to pick out whichever the ones that were the best. So instead of having like what we talked about last night, me having like 10, I ended up with like 1 or 2, and that's it. And a lot of the weapons I'm not going to use in PvP, so it's like, okay, well, I can narrow that down to just being a good PvE roll.
Okay, but say like Iron Banner weapons as a for instance, right? Say, how much easier would it be on you if every year they had, every year, every major DLC, they had a new set of Iron Banner weapons, and all the ones from the previous year were just removed.
Well, I don't think they could just delete. I would think, they would have to basically sunset it. They would probably have to just implement some sort of sunsetting mechanic, but they would have to do it in a way better than they tried to back in Beyond Light, because back in Beyond Light, it was like, okay, like we had nothing, like we had nothing to chase, and we had a very small pool of weapons that we could chase. So, but now, if they let's say like year 1 weapons, or I'm trying to think back how far back some of the weapons go, like the number auto rifle, for example, during that time era, maybe they could start sunsetting those weapons, because we have all these other auto rifles that we could choose from that are within that same either archetype or that same.
Not necessarily like the previous year. They could, do like. So
far enough back where it's really no longer relevant, but not to just not like completely just delete the gun away from the game. I don't think that's a good idea, though.
So it was Beyond Light. What was before that? Shadowkeep? So
yeah.
Say Witch Queen drops, they remove all the Shadowkeep weapons from the game.
Well, they basically removed all the Forsaken weapons, right? Just about. Except like Dream City weapons.
Well,
you could still farm for those.
It was Shadowkeep. It was Shadowkeep when they did the sunsetting. Because Shadowkeep.
No, it was Beyond Light. It was at the beginning of Beyond Light, remember? Or was it right before that? I could have swore sunsetting happened like the same time Beyond Light happened. Because that's where the light level extended up. I can't hear you if you're trying to talk. Oh, there he goes. Maybe he got timed out again. Okay, hang on. He's coming back.
Yeah, so it's every time about a Discord for some reason it does that.
Well, stop going out of Discord. Oh, I guess you were trying to look it up or something.
Yeah, so it was February of 2021. So it was Beyond Light that they did it.
Yeah, because I figured because they set a certain threshold and you couldn't upgrade those weapons past that threshold.
But see, so that's why. So all the stuff from like Shadowkeep and like all the seasons up to Beyond Light, they sunset all of that when they did it. So it wouldn't be, if not with Witch Queen they sunset stuff, so the next DLC would be Lightfall. So with Lightfall, they sunset everything from this previous year, from Beyond Light and all the 4 seasons up to Witch Queen. So then you don't have just the new weapons to grind for and the new seasons that haven't come out yet. You still have all of the previous year's worth of content of weapons to work with.
Right.
And then all of the stuff coming out. And then maybe as, so like Lightfall drops and they sunset all of this year's stuff, and then the stuff that comes out with Witch Queen. And then when the first season comes out, when the first season with Beyond Light comes out, and you have all those new weapons to grind for, the first season of this year gets sunset. And then the second season of this year gets sunset. And so when the next DLC comes out, you still basically have a year's worth of weapons to work with, And then
Right,
as
right,
new seasons come out, they just keep sunsetting the old stuff that's, 2 years old.
right.
Or a year old, I guess it'd be.
What's good, Chris? I see you in chat. But yeah. I think that was kind of the idea, right? Like the way that Bungie wanted to implement it, but it was just such bad timing. So I don't know. I mean, it could be something that they might implement, but I don't know. I guess we'll get a better understanding of like what the game is going to be like, especially with the weapon crafting. So with that being implemented into the game, maybe that'll free up a lot of space. You can't just keep leaving me, man. Good? I guess he's having technical difficulties now. All right, I guess I'll talk to the audience. What's up, guys? Feel free to say hi, chat in chat, while we wait for Professor to get back. Once he gets his stuff figured out. He might be coming back now. Oh, I think it's just you, Chris. But what up, bro? Zero, my hero. Yeah, he's still having issues. Man, oh man. All right, let's try this again.
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
There you go. That's better.
All right, let me know when you can't hear me anymore.
Well, like you would go, and then all of a sudden cuts out.
Yeah, so they have Discord has on my phone. I was looking at the voice settings to try to figure this out to see if I could look at the live chat. And it's got mobile voice overlay so that I can see who's talking and access shortcuts while using other apps when connected to voice. So maybe I just can't talk when I'm in another app, but it doesn't want to switch my voice back on when I come back. Hold up, let me go to my home screen. Is it still working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Hey, sweet. Maybe I finally got it to work.
Hell, you should be able to even turn your phone off where like you don't have to see anything and it still work. It should work like a cell phone, I would assume.
All right, YouTube's open now, so yeah, I can look at the live chat and be in the podcast with you. Awesome. I figured it out.
Yeah, there you go. Good shit.
All right. Technical issues abated.
Yeah, that Discord is crazy, Chris. It's I mean, it works okay on my side. It's just, it seems like some people, they have a little difficult, a little difficulties here.
I figured out what the issue was, though. I wasn't timing out or anything. It was just whenever I was tabbing out a Discord on my phone that it would just wig out. So I figured it out.
Okay. Oh, I hope everybody loves my new banner. This is my baby. I love it. Very good quality. I decided to add it to the stream tonight. Made some stream adjustments. Here, let me see if you can see it a little bit if you go right here. Got the 30th anniversary. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a nerd now.
You've always been a nerd.
Hell yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I've got the Destiny cookbook sitting on one of my shelves.
Like I said, respect the drip. You know, respect the drip. That's all I gotta say about that. So
I don't even want to know the price tag associated with that thing, man.
it wasn't bad. It was like $30.
Oh, that's not too bad, dude. That's like, I'm pretty sure that's less than what I spent on the cookbook.
And that was like directly from Bungie, like from the Bungie store.
Yeah, so was the cookbook. The cookbook was like $40, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, I bought that, and then I also bought a strange coin that it's a pre-order, so I have to wait till they finally decide to release them. But I figure I go, and it comes with a pretty badass looking emblem, so I was like, yo, I need that. I needed that, so I went ahead and ordered that. Got an awesome emblem to rock, and I figured I should start adding Destiny stuff within like the background once I can get my own place, or a bigger place, should I say. I got my own place. I'm an adult now, so I live on my own. I don't live with my mom and pop or none, so I live on my own. But because I got kids, but to have my own space, where I can have an entire room instead of just using a little corner in my living room. But hey, gotta start somewhere, right? Gotta start somewhere. And this is my somewhere. Rock bottom in the dirt. I told my dad, I was like, you know what I could do is I can hold like a bucket of dirt and just pick it up and pour it back into the bucket. Like, you can't get any further than this. All right, I'm streaming in dirt. The only way is up.
But
I thought it was funny. So
what were we talking about? How no matter what, there's going to be a portion of the player base that complains.
Well, yeah, like that's nothing new.
I think most, if not all of us, already knew that.
Right. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, kind of makes me wonder if like the majority of the community is like that. Are they really like that? Or is it just a bunch of accounts that are up on Twitter talking all this shit?
It's like a lot of things in life and with other games and stuff. It's a small percentage of the player base that really feels that way, but they're the ones that are heard the loudest. They talk the loudest. If you have a group of people all talking about the subject, it's the people talking the loudest that get heard. And so that can be mistaken for popular opinion. Vault space being an issue,
Ooh.
I don't think that's necessarily a popular opinion in the player base. I don't think it's a majority of the player base that has that issue. I think that it's a small percentage of the player base, and they're just complaining about it really, really loudly.
Right. Well, they could always I don't know.
So
I understand, like, it's always like it seems like the loudest ones are the ones that complain the most. The people who are not complaining are the ones playing the game and enjoying it,
Exactly. It's like, so I could have 100,000 followers on Twitter, and I can make 3 posts that say, Destiny's a really good game. I really enjoy Destiny. I urge people to play Destiny. But if there's one account that has 50 or 60,000 followers and they make 30 posts that say Destiny is a trash tier game, this is the issues, this is what's wrong with this game, it's horrible, nobody ever play it, they're going to be heard a lot more loudly than me because they talk about it all the time. People that are having fun enjoying the game aren't out there talking about how fun the game is and how much they're enjoying the game. They're just enjoying the game.
Right. Yeah. You know, I really hope that this podcast gets out to them so that they know that they could have something to listen to, and you know, while it's all in the background, and you know, I could get a little better at this, especially at startups. That'll definitely help, especially when I get like, you know, new people that drop by, check things out, and then, you know, try to get them to stick around a little longer, you know, and but you know, also give them a place like they could listen in and be like, yeah, I think I want to speak on this a little bit. You know, hell, some people don't even know that shit goes on. I'm like, I'm not kidding.
I wish I was one of those people that was blissfully unaware of how shitty our player base can be.
Well, or how negative a lot of them can be. It's like,
I wish I was one of those people that was just blissfully unaware of just how horrible people can be about it.
right, yeah. I mean, I wasn't associated with that kind of stuff when I was like playing any other games. But as soon as I got into Destiny and really started investing into it a lot, you know, my time and money into it, and then there's like this whole slew of people. And I've even talked to some of the guys in the clan, and they would be like, there would be something that like everybody's bitching about on Twitter, and they'll be blissful by it because they'll be like, well, all the streamers I watch, they all say it's a good thing. And it's like, they haven't seen one negative post about it. And it's like, really? There's a whole slew of them, my man. Like, holy shit. You're missing out.
Go put hashtag D2 on Twitter and scroll.
Oh
for like
my god.
minutes.
Yeah, it won't take you long. That's almost like okay, let's say you get somebody that's like brand new, right? And they never played Destiny and they're thinking about trying it out. Well, if you wanted to do some research, like, you know, a lot of us do, and to see if it might be a good game. Well, a lot of these people, if they fall in the wrong rabbit hole, they'll think, or their conclusion of the game will be, game's dead, it sucks, and, you know, and all this other bullshit. And it was just like, that's not even the case. Hell, you still got people, you could tell they haven't been playing the game in a long time. Because they're just like, they're making posts that's like it aged wrong. It's like, did you post this just 5 minutes ago, or did you post this like 6 years ago? Like making bullshit arguments that are like, have you even been on the game? Like, some people will actually put on there and say, oh well, you know, there's no quality of life changes. Bungie hasn't made any quality of life changes. And it's like, have you not been around? Are you just now getting here?
Bungie
Like,
has made a ton of quality of life changes, but since there are so many people that are speaking so loudly that disagree with those quality of life changes, people are led to believe that there have been none.
Yeah, well, hopefully, maybe, you know, maybe I can help make a difference and, you know, get people to be like, no, that's not the case. Like, you've obviously haven't been on the game. And besides, like, in a lot of those posts, there's always somebody there to be like, basically stating the exact same thing I'm saying. You know, it's like, where have you been? So, I mean, it's not really much difference. And if you're new here right now, feel free to chat in chat. You know, I'll talk to you guys too.
Yeah, I got Discord working, so I can see it. Don't put me.
Well, not you. I'm already talking to you. I'm talking about it. Anybody else that's in, you know, watching right now. Let them know they could chat. I'll try to bounce back and forth. But
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think a lot of with the quality of life changes and the changes that they make to Destiny, I think unless it happens to be a super unpopular change that the entire, like, it would have to be pretty much the entirety of the player base. A solid, 60 or 70% or better would have to disagree with. Everybody else is going to come to understanding in time. That's how sunsetting went down. There were a lot of people that didn't like it, that didn't agree with it. And as time's gone on, people, they see now that it is for the better that some of those weapons that were in the game shouldn't be in the game anymore.
Yeah.
It was one of those things, you don't hear people still complaining about sunsetting because a lot of people have either come to terms with it's not being reversed, or for certain weapons it's not being reversed anyways. I think we all know that Mountaintop, Recluse, Revoker, God, I can't even think of the 2 Gambit ones. It was the LMG and the auto rifle.
Breakneck.
And 21%.
21%. Yep. Oh, I missed 21. Oh,
Like,
I missed that gun too. And Breakneck.
Coming back.
Well, I know. Like,
I'm pretty sure. And I think so. I think Breakneck and 21% have the best chance of coming back. Of all of the old Pinnacle weapons, I believe they have the best chance of coming back. Because
they could come back and then maybe come back better.
There was another LMG that was released with Killing Tally. Killing Tally wasn't even necessarily that strong of a perk. Same thing with Breakneck. It's... I can't even remember what its perk was called.
On Breakneck?
Yeah.
It's whatever it was, like it stacks with like Rampage, like it makes it shoot faster. Stacks
of Rampage made it shoot faster.
Yeah, and then you put a Rampage mod on it.
Yeah,
so
you can
it'll
put a Rampage
give you that
it.
like extra second.
At this point, like, Rampage has been nerfed. The only weapon that currently has the old version of Rampage is the Huckleberry, and it's an exotic. So I could see Breakneck coming back, or a different auto rifle or SMG maybe with, that perk on it. I could see one of those weapons coming back, or 21%, but like, Micro Missile is never gonna see the light of day again. Master of Arms is never gonna see the light of day again.
Well, Salvager Salvo, it's putting in work though.
I can't even remember what Revoker's was called. Refunding a bullet to your mag if you miss though, like, that's not ever coming back. Like those perks are never gonna come back. I think the Gambit perks, Killing Tally, and whatever Breaknecks was called, I think those have the best chance of coming back to the game at some point, especially the one that Breakneck had, because Rampage, like, weapon damage perks aren't as good as they used to be. They all got nerfed. Kill Clip got nerfed, Rampage got nerfed. None of them are very good anymore. Like, they're still solid choices to have on your weapon, but it made other perks in the same slot be able to compete with those weapons.
Yeah, it was a reversal of fortune.
Yep, that's what it was.
That was the perk for the Revoker.
Yeah.
And
it was a long name. That's probably why I couldn't remember it.
Yeah. And what was in the Breakneck was... if it'll ever tell me. What was that damn perk? It was onslaught.
Yep.
That
That's what it
was
was
an
called.
amazing perk on there. Oh my god. You know what? You could have the breakneck. Just bring us that perk back. That would be great. Holy shit.
And I think that has a solid chance of coming back because Rampage doesn't up your damage as much anymore.
I mean, it's still decent. It's just like if you're mowing through trash ads. You know, I've noticed I've started finding myself to, you know, like right now I'll run like a auto rifle for trash ads and then like a fusion rifle with particle deconstruction to take out, you know, take out like champions and higher end, like not boss, but mini bosses basically. And then my heavy, you know, Galahorn. I see Sleeper Simulant is actually doing really, really well right now too.
Oh yeah.
So I've been rocking that today. I was rocking the newest hand cannon with headstone with the stasis subclass. Oh, so good.
You know what? Linear fusion. I'm actually curious about how much particle deconstruction buffs the damage for it.
Which one?
Queenbreaker's bow, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, in Gambit. And that was like against like you're the invader, like if you were using that. I don't know. I think they might have tried Queenbreaker's bow by now, but it seems like Sleeper seems to be like the best, or if you go with like the one you can get through trials, the adept one if you get Vorpal weapon, but they even nerfed Vorpal weapon, so it doesn't do as much damage as it used to. But I mean, other than that, I know a lot of people are using they're using particle deconstruction with you know, like regular like null composure. I've been using it with the glacial chasm. It's slow charge.
Deactivated?
Do what?
Is Telesto still deactivated?
It was. I know they deactivated it, but I don't know. I haven't been paying any attention to that weapon. I shit you not. I don't think I've ever picked up that weapon before.
Really?
I think that's the only weapon in the game I have never used, but that I actually have. You know, I have you know, I don't have some of the raid weapons, but that's one of the weapons I have, but I never used it. I've never touched it.
I wonder about Merciless.
I don't know why.
DPS?
I know it was doing crazy damage, and again, breaking the game. And I think they did have to disable it for a while. I'm not sure if it's still disabled though.
Telesto breaking Destiny since D1. Swear, that gun's been deactivated so many times. But no, like I was saying, I wonder about Merciless maybe as like a boss DPS.
I don't know.
Because I know like back in Leviathan days, Merciless used to be really good. So I wonder what it looks like with particle deconstruction and, you know, some fusion rifle reloader mods on your arms.
Right.
I wonder what kind of damage you could look like with a 6 stack of those, because that weapon's pretty crazy too.
I don't know. I think a lot of people are either running with swords, especially in the newer ones, or they're running with Galahorn. I haven't seen a whole lot and it's Sleeper Simulant. I mean, if they're
Yeah.
going to use particle deconstruction, which I actually came up with a pretty good loadout with using the newest hand cannon with headstone and then salvager salvo on my stasis subclass for my hunter, and I can run sleeper simulant with the catalyst, and it's actually really good. Like, I'm actually surprised. And I think I lost you again. So while we wait for him, are you? Oh, okay.
So all right. So I'll explain. I'm like setting my phone down so I can munch on some chips because I don't want to munch super loud into the mic.
Oh my god.
Because
You're stuffing your face during my show? How dare you? What the?
I have to start fasting for 14 hours here in like an hour, so I'm trying to like get a bunch of food on my stomach.
Yeah.
But
enjoy it while it lasts.
For my whole like army enlistment thing, I have to cut like 14 pounds, so I'm trying to like get some food on my stomach so that I can fast for 14 hours so I can cut this weight.
Ooh, good luck. Might go for a little jog too.
Yeah, it's currently like, hold up, let me look at the weather. It's 14 degrees outside. I'm not going for a jog.
Yeah, it's 9 degrees right now where I'm at. So it's cold. And I'm not that far from you either, so that's the funny part.
No.
You're a little warmer. So you have more of a jogging weather than I do.
Low tonight is, yeah, it's 14. It feels like 7 though, and the low tonight is 11. So
if you are new here, we were discussing vault space. If you think that Bungie needs to give us more vault space, or if you think that they shouldn't, really, my opinion doesn't really matter. It's more of what you guys think. So I got my buddy Professor here. He's in my Discord. This is how we do this is how we do our call-ins. So, but if you don't want to join my Discord and you just want to subscribe to my channel, feel free to. And all you got, if you just want to put your opinion in the chat, I'll read it and I'll even interact with you as well. You know, whenever Professor stops rambling on and on and on about a certain subject. I'm just kidding, by the way. It was a joke.
Don't call me out like that.
So, but I do appreciate you being here. So, but yeah, feel free to, chat it up in the chat too while you're here. And go ahead and give me a like. That would be really nice. That would be awesome. The little like button that's, hang on, still somewhere down there. I think it's over here somewhere in this general area. Okay, you got it. So anyways, back to what we were discussing.
Yeah, just remove the vault. If the weapons you use can't fit in your inventory, you don't need them.
It gets on it. I see there. I put a twab or a fake twab. Hang on. I think I put it in my clan memes. Hang on. Can you still hear me? He probably can't even hear me, but I'm gonna show. Hang on. Can you hear me now, Professor? Hello? I guess I lost him again. Okay, let's try this.
It just wigs out whenever I open Discord, so.
I thought I lost you because I went to a different, my other server. I was thinking it might keep me in here. But it was basically saying that for now on, all you're going to get is blues, and it's going to start dropping in everything in your vault automatically. Start pushing out everything. You can't stop it until you have nothing but blues. And then it's going to start putting blues in your inventory on your guardian, and until like you have nothing left, and it's just blues after blues after blues. That's your twab. So I was like, wow. I got a couple of people with that. That was hilarious.
I'm signing up for.
Yeah, and whoever did it was a fucking genius because it was like they structured it just like Bungie does. So it's like I got some of the kids over here, like they thought it was real. Chris over here says more vault space, so it would be interesting to have him show up on my podcast and give his 2 cents of why he would want more vault space, and maybe even have a little instance where maybe you two can hash it out a little bit. I think that would be some good time right there.
Tell me why exactly you need more vault space, buddy.
If you're here, Chris, you better tell him. Or you could go ahead and hop into the into my Discord, and I'll bring you on to chat. Then we can have a nice little friendly debate. We'll keep it classy. We'll see what he does. I don't know. He might actually just type. He's a pretty good guy, so go easy on him. No, don't rip his head off. Not like he couldn't handle it.
I'm a pretty cool guy. Don't rip my head off.
I don't know. Some of these people don't know you in a raid like I do. Whew. That was rough.
Listen, man.
What? Oh shit.
I've done a lot of raids.
Yeah. I've been dying to do another raid here as of recent, but yeah.
You know, this is gonna sound dumb as hell. You know what raid I've really been itching to do?
Leviathan.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, right? Like, I've been dying to do levies for like ever, dude.
Leviathan or like some Eater of Worlds, man.
Okay, so he says he collects sparrows and ships.
Oh, well, that's
technically, Chris, you can delete those and they stay in your collections. You don't have to hold on to those.
I feel like it was a joke. I don't know. Maybe he does collect sparrows and ships.
Maybe. But just so he's still kind of learning the game as well, so. But if he wasn't for sure, yeah, you can actually just delete those, and then, because I thought the same thing. That's how I started out playing Destiny, was holding on to all the ships and sparrows. You know, when I first started playing D2, once upon a time.
I just keep the cool looking ones.
Yeah, I typically, I got more than I really need, but, every once in a while I feel like I want to change it up a bit.
I've only got like 4 or 5 of each that I actually use.
Right. Right now my favorite is the broomstick from the first one, not the one with the cat.
Yeah. I like the Santa sleigh because it handles like an absolute dump truck.
Yeah. I wonder if that one would do well in the sparrow race part in the dungeon.
Nope.
In the newest dungeon.
Probably not.
Actually, I've seen people, they take the newest sword that has Eager Edge. I believe that's what it's called. And he says that he really does collect ships and sparrows that way.
Yeah, I see that.
But and he says he has to.
It could be in your pocket.
Right.
That's
but People are, I guess, you know how the whole, I guess it was warlock skating at one point with a sword, where
Yeah.
you can like fly across the freaking map.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's back. So, because
Woohoo!
they have a sword with a eager edge that you can get with the 30th anniversary right now. So, if you haven't been on here as of late, you might want to try to get on. Just saying.
No whiffy, dude.
He's like, I ain't got no internet.
Yeah, no Wi-Fi.
It's kind of hard
And, you
without
know,
the Wi-Fi.
once if I get enlisted and go off to get sent off to basic, my woman's going back to live with her parents, so there's no reason for me to get internet turned on here.
Right, yeah, I feel you. Well, you need to have your woman get on and let her play for you. Hell, she can even make herself an account so that she could play on her own, and I'll invite her to the clan, and we'll show her the
Yeah.
ropes. If you're okay with that.
Dude, do it.
Hell yeah.
I got her to play a little bit on my account.
Well, I would think it. I
Or,
can.
no, maybe I got her to like start her own account.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
Well, we could do that. That way, I don't know if you do any like solo, try to do like solo flawless runs or anything, but
Nope.
yeah.
Nope.
But like if there's like certain things that way you can kind of keep up to date with all the good stuff.
I've done solo runs of Prophecy. I've done flawless runs of Prophecy, but under no circumstances am I ever gonna do a solo flawless.
Yeah. I'm attempting to do a solo flawless of the newest dungeon, so that emblem looks too good to pass up. Plus, it would be nice to have that little flex. It's nice. So, but anyways, we're coming up to an hour and a half at this point, and I do appreciate those of you that have stopped by and hung out with us. And like always, Professor, it's been a pleasure discussing these things with you. I don't know what would be a good topic for maybe tomorrow night. Let's see. I got a list. We've covered Vault Space.
If Chris is still here, read them off and let him decide.
Let's see. Meta doesn't mean skill for when it comes to like PvP. Let's see, matchmaking system. At least the current one. I think that's what your Trials matchmaking system. You're not feeling it?
Yeah.
I think that's what you were discussing the last time we talked.
Yeah, that's the one thing I discussed last time I was on here.
Another one was like just an off topic, like just criticize the critic, those who are like the highest of critics, that make a living criticizing, and they have a hard time taking criticisms. It's like, wow, the irony is strong with this one. So, but that was just a kind of a throwaway topic, really. It's not really something that I'm wanting to focus on. I don't know. I'll think of something though. Well, especially I don't think I'm gonna start off. I mean, we had the new lights, Operation Save the New Lights. We did do a stream past couple days. The first stream actually reached I think it's at 140 views right now. It's like it was my best stream by far here as of late. So let's see. Go to dash. 146 as of right now. So But I don't know. Are you still there, Professor?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, do you have any last and final words for those who watch the video later?
If you think you need more vault space, you probably don't. Go through it and see what stuff you actually need and what stuff you can throw away. That's my closing words.
All right. Well, there you have it. So, but like I said, it's been a pleasure. So, but anyways, to the rest of y'all, I am going to close up shop. I will be here next tomorrow, and until then, you stay classy.